Do not forget that those henchmen, along with their RPGs, are not in the competitive game mode. We will not be seeing them here. However, there's a little bit of talk about it. Their RPGs are actually available in the competitive mode. A lot of people don't know this, but you can go shark hunting, and you can still end up getting those rockets. They haven't been in there from the very beginning. I think the first time we saw them was in some of the Middle Eastern scrims coming out in the first couple of days of the patch, and everyone was like, what? Where did those come from? But a couple players haven't been able to find those out now, but Matzo Amplified picking up their second elimination here. That's ADN getting the conversion over. And you talk about kind of those consistent teams, the ones who've been able to push towards the top. We saw Mongrel and Co. and Stompy. We saw a little bit of a prediction coming in towards them, but they've last week, but they've kind of struggled a little bit to get going here in these final rounds, as we actually see in the side there. Hen did end up getting picked up, as Patrick will get the trade over onto Legendary as that fight resolves over in the swamp. But Scram trying to get some pressure here, and he's gonna find it here, and that was the final elim onto Mongrel. We'd seen that Tasted and Mitro had gotten taken out early. Mongrel tried to kind of hit the scavenger side onto the Witch's Shack, but he's going to get taken out there, and Scram, the benefactor there, as now we're going to swing back on over to that Slurpy Swamp fight. And Hen got taken down, but not converted on. So actually, Patrick and Rajasser going head-to-head here. One Lush is going to get taken down, and it's all on Rajasser to convert here. You can see Rajasser actually trying to head back on over to Lusha to try and keep the 2v3.
Rifts are a big, vital, important part of their rotations. They'll take a rift, and they usually go dead center, so expect them to play for dead center. As if this is your first time watching Fortnite competitive, it's zones 1 through 4 are going to go centralized. After that, we have a half in and half out in zone 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, full rotations. We're barely getting to zone 2 right here, as Analyx and Janice and over time, Duck on Top, but X Squeeze, who are Reese's pick, starting off the tournament with already 1 elimination and 1 point, and with a good old-fashioned Stormage fight.
Do you think his name is Duck on Top, like a rubber ducky, like you squeeze? Because you think about it, you squeeze a rubber ducky and it makes kind of that squeezy noise. Like, is that what it is?
My question is he the one? Does he make bath type? I hope so. Let's see. Andalix, Duck on Top, aka Squeeze, Squeaky Wiki.
Hey, is that maybe a duo we can take advantage of? Or hey, is that one person who's rotating over there? Okay, well, we can go, and we have all of this excess loot that then comes with getting kind of one of these few power POIs, and it's honestly really scary to contest them, because Matzo and Amplify have been playing together forever, and the chemistry that they have on top of ADN's individual talent makes them a difficult trio to crack. And as we say that, you can see the sniper shot cracking down and getting a knock over there, and they're trying to get conversion on it, as the Storm is going to help them with this gatekeeping effort.
Definitely. They're one of the most underrated trios, because like you mentioned, not a lot of people are talking about them. They've already qualified in the 3.
I'm a little disappointed to not see them today, and I think at least in my mind, it takes them down a notch from all of a sudden they were this S tier, almost untouchable in the region, from the fact that they were back-to-back and so consistent, to now where we look at the performances that AD and Amplify and Matzo are able to put off, and just how well they're able to aggressively gatekeep these teams. As we see right there, that was a whole different team that they're taking on the engagement. But as we say that, Queasy Chapixenko trying to get in, but Matzo's gonna turn the high ground around onto him, finding huge rifle shots up onto the high ground. They're fighting 2 teams at once here, Sancho.
And they're making it look easy right now. It is the elite going versus the elite. Train hard, as they were doing what their best, as my boy Shia would like to say. Get on the hype train at the moment, because Train Hard is just doing it, and this is a big time trio that they're taking out. This is one of the prediction picks, as Chapix is only left to fight for himself. We have been seeing Lone Ranger heroic performances, but I don't know, when you got a trio like Matzo, ADN, Amplify knocking on your door, and like you said, on all cylinders, like a sharp blade going through it all, this hot butter, it's just a matter of moments, as Chapix is now doing his best to run for his life.
Chapix against the world, but Amplify gonna clean him up. No running, no hiding, and that's their 7th elimination, taking him out right there. And I don't think anybody picked.
We already saw some pop-off eliminations here, but now this is a squad. Like I mentioned earlier before, it's all or nothing. So if you want to root for an underdog, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, bonesies and josies, theys and thems, this would be the squad to vote for, as Mappy picks up a nice elim. They need to place in top 15 for them to go ahead and advance into the heats.
The top 15 is what we're going to be focusing on largely tomorrow. Today, it's all about establishing yourselves, getting in there, doing everything you can. Left Eye, somebody we've seen before, but Mappy and Finanin, or Finagen? I have no idea. I apologize. I'm assuming it's something that I definitely don't know how to pronounce, but you can see trying to find a little bit of room here. They have pulled priority on the zone, and they're also going to pick up Serenity swaps. Good job converting on the knock, but they need to get in a big hit on the Versa. Left Eye saying, no problem, I got more than enough experience. That's 5 eliminations coming out from the trio, and with priority position on the zone, they should have more than enough mats now to create room for themselves.
Left Eye's trio is sticking to the rivers and lakes that they're used to, doing really well at the moment. This is it. This is their first time experience in round 3. We've seen Mona at the very first had a really decent run at first. They had a hot start, and then they cooled down. But can Left Eye's trio maintain? Yes, this is a 12-game stretch, and this is what the word of the day is going to be entire month, is consistency. And in this 12-game stretch we've been seeing throughout the weeks, this consistency, the cream will rise to the top, to quote the great Macho Man. But here we are, the half in and half out. This is going to be a circle that's safe in the zone, not safe in the zone. As you can see, everyone's already making the rotations, and most of our trios are free. If you're taking a look right now, Storm Surge is active, but it will be slowly turned off at the moment, because only when 50 players are alive, one more player has to go down as another elim picks up. So you got to keep an eye on that, and we'll do our best here on the broadcast to let you know, to teach you some things in regards to Fortnite competitive. But right now, Lunef, Moraine, Jaspe picking up a nice elim, using that harpoon to grab as much refresh as possible. But this is another trio here, Sundown, that was not in week 2, and here they are again in week 3.
And you can see they were the ones who were contesting over there against Mitro, Mongrel, and Tayson. And coming in before they were able to pick up that elimination, they were sitting on 2 elims, which to me signals they're probably still contesting over there. And the ones who won that initial drop, however, will have to keep an eye on that battle over the course of these 12 games. The Stark Industry has been hotly contested sometimes in Europe, but right now on board here, Janice and Alex duck on top, aka X Squeeze, trying to find a little bit of space. They have decent priority on the zone. They are going to pop a pepper and try and pop some plentiful points into their back pocket, but right now just getting priority edge on the zone. You can see Mick the Beast picking up a pair of elims there. 48 players remaining, so no Storm Surge going to come into play. Some good rifle shots from Janice, but just waiting for the zone to catch up so they're able to move forward. 18 trios remaining, which means the next trio to drop will walk away with 0 placement points, and that's actually going to be Matzo, who is downed right there. He's going to be left back, Amplify and ADN just going to rotate forward, and that's a huge pickup as the Siptos gets Marin. KS Light picks up Comey, and we close in on the top 17. Crashpad ends up coming out, but not quite finding it yet. Fire Hunter gets the conversion onto Comey. Still 44 players left, 18 trios. Gonna wait for the server to catch up here as we switch on over to the wide. You can see a number of players running ahead on the low ground and a couple of individual tarps building out.
If this is your first time watching competitive, you got to kind of slice it into 3 different layers: low ground, mid ground, and height. At the moment, we're watching the team of Hen, Putchik, and Deceptos on the mid ground, really close to the low ground. So they're going to have to be careful to watch the people from height to beam on down, and they have to watch their feet down below. We've been seeing a lot of strategies of the people on the low ground cutting off the people up top a little bit. Also, at the same time, we're in full rotational circles, so now everything's going to be chaotic. You're going to see all our players scramble as much as possible. This is a nice view of the mid-ground tarp right now. All our players are using their builds as much as possible to extend their life, to make sure they could traverse these dangerous areas. But look, dropping elims in the feed at the moment, getting some big-time movement right now at the moment, and I like this clean tarp they have here, Sundown.
Yeah, you can see getting a good level by themselves, making sure they aren't overly contested. 13 players remaining, which means 13 trios left, which means the placement points have been ticking over. You can see eliminations into the harpoon right away. This is the trio. I drop in the top, Stursix in the bottom right, Vettel in the bottom left, and right now just trying to find as much space as they can. They have a decent number of mats, however, starting to run low on the hard mats. Only 150 metal and 100 metal left on iDrop as they're continuing to use those to tarp out, and now iDrop is going to have the last of their hard mats, which means they're going to have to start turning and looking for eliminations. However, the zones are closing in, and everyone else is going to have to come to them.
Good thing is iDrop does have a harpoon, but now iDrop has to back up just a little bit as he did get greeted with the big blast down to 11 HP. iDrop, luckily, now this is what the great symbiotic relationship or relationship that you see in trios. They're going to help each other out. Some people may have floppers. You could tell that their comms are like, I'm hit, I need floppers, as he picks up a nice knock on Ref's guard. iDrop is doing his thing, and you got to be confident in these situations, Sundown. No matter if you're down with no shields, you still have to put your output. You still have a job to do for your trio, and that is doing really well for iDrop, Vettel, and Stir6. They did really well in week 1, and I'm expecting them to do really well here in week 3.
And you can see now that circle going back over the low builds. Currently, Raison, Noah, and Aqua up on the high ground. Going to have the advantage when it comes through for this match, but also in the low ground tarp, you have Andalix and Janice on the tarp. We'll have Janice in the top right, Stir6 in your bottom right. Right now, a decent number of them as Blaster goes to work on the low ground, going to pick up a number of eliminations. 5 trios remaining. Don't forget top 3 and top 2. We'll get some additional points and Victory Royale will also walk away with +5. Janice trying to go up vertical in the top right, stuck on a crash pad and a bouncer, but finds a massive shot, able to find the pick there onto Aqua, gets the siphon as well. He's going to continue to go up, trying to ramp up, and you can see the high ground has been taken away. That's Janice, Andalex, and Xqueezy taken away. Stir6 trying to put the shots down. He has some floppers if it goes to a heal off, but the high ground execution, no, 1 point going to be taken away there as Stir6 finding the elimination. That's going to close out on Noah Riley, and we have our top 3.
Here we go. We have our top 3. Alpha all by themselves as a solo, and we have 2 trios that's up. Alpha picking up some big-time placement points right now. If he could just hold on, and this is a matter of a battle, the thematic battle between height and low ground, as Giannis is already sitting on the height, has 2 floppers, going to do the flopper play, and now it's going to be a send down, a squeeze to squeeze out everybody. It is Stir6 who's still up. What does Stir6 have? Does he have enough to outlast? And I think he does it. It is Giannis, Squeeze, and Andalex taken away with the first victory royale of the day.
This is broken down. I'm much more of like let me see it and then I can understand it kind of person. So here you go. First place, you can see eliminations are only at 7.
Big points ahead of everyone. It's a 3-point difference now from first to second. It feels like this week we'll have a closer overall competition between every team we're watching in this qualifier round. And these symbols that you're seeing over towards the left side are just basically showcasing